Hello, fellow scientists. I'm excited about this project today. We're going to learn how to build a clock out of a coconut. You'll recall that for a couple of weeks now we've been studying harmonic motion, mostly as springs, but the vocabulary we developed for oscillating springs is the same vocabulary we'll be using for pendulums. And you will see, you guys will figure out as we go along, the math for how pendulums works is very close to the math for how springs work. And as we've learned time and time again, if the math is the same, the physics is the same. So let's review some vocabulary. The mass that we hang on the end is, do you recall what we call that mass? All right, one of you guys remembers it, tell the other guy. Plumb bob, exactly right. From the Latin, that was a great story. What do we call how long the pendulum is? Come on, you know it. Say it loudly, like you mean it. Correct, moment arm. What do we call the distance we pull it from equilibrium? Remember, equilibrium is when it's hanging straight down. If I pull it a little bit or I pull it a lot, that's called the, starts with A, runs with amplitude. Yes, amplitude, very good. So are there other vocabulary words? Yes, period. Remember, the period is not how long it takes from get from one side to the other, but how long it takes to make a complete round trip from there to there. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. In the back of the room, I've got a whole bunch of masses. I've got a whole bunch of strings. I've got a bunch of these little, whatever these gizmos are. And I want you and your partner first do a little brainstorming and figure out what variables might affect the period. Perhaps the amplitude might affect the period. If you think it does, here's what I want you to do. Pull it off the side a little bit and time how long it takes to make a round trip. And then do it again, but pull it off a little more. And you either will figure out that the period is different or it's not. If it is different, then amplitude matters. If it's not different, then amplitude doesn't matter. So you might want to test amplitude. You might want to test the mass of the plumb bob. I had a little bitty one there. I got a great big one here. See if how much the plumb bob weighs affects the period. You might test to see if it going north-south affects it differently than it going east-west. You might test to see if changing the length of the moment arm would change the period. What I want you to do is you guys brainstorm all the variables you think might be at play, and then go do some experiment. We got all day to do this. This might spill over tomorrow too, but come back to me and report to me and the class what variables affect the period of a pendulum. And once we do that, we'll be ready to dive deep into this thing. I'm looking for this project. Cool.